And welcome back to Nancy's Neighborhood, folks. And I'm just tickled to death to have Suzanne Wood on with me today. She is a professor at Cleveland State Community College, you know, one of my favorite places for people to be. And she has a big event coming up on Saturday, March the 2nd, so I wanted her to come on and tell you all about it because I want everybody to be there.
Me too.
All
Me
right,
too.
so tell us all about it.
Okay, well, this is our 15th year.
That's amazing.
For having our annual Dr. Seuss event. And we just have lots of free things for children to do. It's a good day to take your child out to do lots of good things, and it doesn't cost anything.
Right.
We offer every child a goodie bag when they walk in. We have activities outside and inside. We have characters. We have the Cat in the Hat,
Yes.
Thing 1 and Thing 2, and the Grinch, and the children absolutely love that.
I'm sure they do.
And it all comes out of a class that I teach, Language and Lit. The students plan and implement, and so the Cat, the Thing 1, Thing 2, and the Grinch are students from my class.
How neat.
And then we have hat making and egg decorating. We have writing activities, blocks, music and movement. They have a fishing game inside. And one of the most important things I think we have is we give every child a hardback book.
And I think that's awesome. Now, tell me who provides those books for you.
Kiwanis of Cleveland.
I think that's awesome too.
We are so glad to partner with them. When I first started the event, we weren't able to give children a book. And it was my dream that, you know, this is a literacy event.
Yes.
I wanted to give them a book. And I just happened to be invited to go speak to Kiwanis about Dr. Seuss, and they decided to take it on as one of their major projects. And I later found out when I was reading through the Kiwanis information that Kiwanis nationally, that is one of their major goals.
Oh, literacy.
Is early childhood literacy.
I did not know that.
I didn't either. And so that was, it just fit perfectly.
Absolutely.
And what's even better is that all the Kiwanis, well, not all, some of the Kiwanis members come and hand out the books.
Oh, neat.
And I think they're as happy to come and hand them out as the children that get them. You know, it sees the fruit of what they do, and they're able to actually see the children as they give them the book.
And I think that is so awesome. Now, let's tell everybody what time. This isn't all day now, Saturday. We have time limits.
It opens at 10, and we close at 1, so it's 10 to 1 on Saturday, March the 2nd. And usually, because of the popularity of Dr. Seuss, they are lined up out the door. And we do not open till 10 because we're still busy setting up.
Right.
You know, it takes, we come in around 7:30, and we're using every minute to get set up for the morning.
And it's in the library.
It is in the Cleveland State's library.
Right.
We do a lot of activities outside. We have had between 600 and 800 children and their families. So over 1,000 people come to this event. So because it became so crowded in the library, we started putting more activities outside. So they can do activities outside or they can come inside. Outside we have fishing, chalk art, hula hoops, face painting. Our refreshments actually are outside, and we give every child refreshments. Flowers Bakery every year has been so generous and gives us lots of cookies. We've gotten water from places, and we just are so lucky to have people that will donate to our event.
And Cleveland's a very giving community.
It is.
They really are.
And when you say it's for children and it's for literacy, they're more than happy usually to donate something. So that's what's going on the outside. And then I'd already talked about the things that we do. Oh, and one really important thing, in our cafe in the library, we have people reading to the children different Dr. Seuss books.
Neat.
And our best partner is Taylor Elementary School.
Yes.
And Taylor Elementary School's principal and teachers are the readers.
How neat.
For the event, and that's really great. And then WCLE, the radio station, does a live remote for the event as well. And they've come every year for our event. Well, in the past many years they've come.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, between 600 and 800 people, that's overwhelming.
It is. Of course, they're not all there at the same time. But it is a constant flow into the library. We do have two things, and I want to mention this because when I say the event is free, we do have a photographer there because many years ago, parents started asking me, can you take pictures? And they wanted me to do it. Well, I'm so busy that day.
Like you don't have anything else to do.
I don't have time. And certainly any parent can take a picture with their phone if they want to. But they wanted photography type pictures, and they wanted them with the characters. So we have a photographer that comes and gives us pictures. They get them automatically, and they're really, really cheap. They don't cost very much at all. And that's just by choice if you want to do that.
Right.
And then we have Kona Ice there as well.
I love Kyle. He does such a great job. He's always at any event where you want him.
Do you know he calls me before we even talk about the event and says, do you still need me to come for Dr. Seuss? And we do it as a fundraiser as well. So that money goes back in to the event. We'll also be selling T-shirts.
Oh, neat.
Our Early Childhood Club sells T-shirts as a fundraiser. So we have from toddlers to adults. We have the hats, the red and white ones, and we have the multicolored ones.
Oh,
and
neat.
they really like the colored of the hats. And we also have a few pieces of like Dr. Seuss hat earrings that we sell. So, and that's all to raise money for the club to go back in to Dr. Seuss.
So you can do it next year?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
That
yes.
is wonderful. Now, I was telling Suzanne before we came on the air, I decided a couple of years ago that I'd go over and see what this was all about. And I got there about 9:30, thinking I was early, and parked my car way down in the parking lot over there in front of the incubator, and walked up, and I didn't get very far until I saw the line was already in front of the administration building coming around, and I thought, this is probably not where I need to be today. But I think it's awesome that many people come out.
They are usually lined up either coming that direction or from the gym parking lot.
Okay.
They're lined coming up and trying to get into the building. So, you know, it's become, I think, word of mouth. We have a lot of repeaters. We have a lot. And, oh, I forgot to even mention, we feature a book every year.
Right. I was going to ask what the feature was this year.
And this year it's And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street, which was actually the first published early book he wrote.
Oh, wow.
It's
Okay.
not, most people think The Cat in the Hat or.
Yes.
But that wasn't his first book. It was And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street. It's been around for 82 years.
Oh, wow.
So that's how long ago he wrote that. And it's really a fun book, and it's an easier read book. It's not a lengthy, like, The Cat in the Hat's really long.
Yes, it is.
But this is an easier read book, so it's good for that preschool age child. And so that's the book that we're featuring this year, and we don't have a lot of them to give away. We have enough books for all the children. We have lots of books.
Oh, okay.
But we can only secure about 100 of those because they don't publish it as much as they used to.
Oh, wow.
So whoever gets to it and Think That I Saw on Mulberry Street will be really lucky. And the children get to pick. Like there's probably 6, maybe 7 different selections, and they get to pick which book they want. So if they have that one, they can pick another book there. But that's the one we're featuring. And we give every child that comes in, when they get a goodie bag with them, they also get to pick an egg. And in that egg could be a door prize ticket. Normally we have about 25, but we decided to celebrate his 82nd year of this book. We would give at least 82 door prizes.
Wow.
For children, and they are really nice door prizes. So there's a good chance that you'll win a door prize for your child. If you fill out a survey, which is at another desk, the parent has a chance to put their ticket in the survey, and we also have a lot of good adult kind of tickets. And then the 80, we've always done the 50th child got a special book, like whoever the 50th one is to come in gets a special gift. We've done different things. We gave a bed away one year.
A bed?
Yes, we did the sleep book, which is one of his books. And we gave a child-sized bed away. On our 50th anniversary, we gave a child, he was like 4, he got enough money for textbooks when he comes to Cleveland State.
Oh, wow.
And he signed the little contract. And so when he comes to Cleveland State, several years down the road,
right,
his textbooks, most of them will be paid for.
Fantastic.
Through Dr. Seuss. This year, I can't tell you positively, but because we're waiting on one of our big door prizes, whether it comes in, but there'll be a nice little door prize in the 82nd child that comes in
neat.
this year. So we have lots of neat little things like that they're just extras that we do for children.
And I think this is so awesome that you do this every year, and this is your 15th year.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you had been doing it that long.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
We both are, Suzanne. Let's not even go there. Okay. So Cleveland State campus. There's plenty of parking.
Well, now let me tell you this. They're
Okay.
having the regional basketball
Oh, that's right. I
weekend.
forgot about that.
And it will be going on. The games don't start till after Dr. Seuss is over, but there will be some traffic with them dropping off players. But we have the whole gym parking lot, which
Okay.
is right next to the library, and then any of the parking like next to the library, like Career Ed in front of it, where you parked the last
Right.
time, or the Johnson
Over next
building.
to the incubator.
So
Yes.
there'll be plenty, but just know there's going to be extra traffic on that day. Colleges only get it every 10 years.
Right.
And so this happened to be the 10th year.
And I remember reading that in the paper thinking, oh my goodness, that's going to be some good basketball going on, but I didn't even think about that's going on at the same time this is going on. So this is just so exciting. And you teach early childhood education.
Yes.
And that's something that I think that's wonderful, because
Yeah.
I did a little bit of that, teaching that several years ago. But this is kind of a prelim for those that want to go into education.
Right. The program that I teach in is for people who want to work with children birth through age 8. Some of them do a 2-year degree, but most of our students go on to do a 4-year degree because they want to either teach like pre-K, K, first, second, or third grade. So our programs articulate to Lee, Tennessee Wesleyan, UTC, East Tennessee State. You know, they articulate so these students can go on and get a 4-year degree and be the classroom teacher.
And I think that's great.
Yeah. And so what this is doing is, as a teacher, you don't just teach in the classroom. You're responsible for lots of different things. And so this has given them an experience of how to plan an event.
Yes. And then once you plan it, what to do when 800 kids show up. I mean, holy smoke, I never had that many at a class at a time.
Right.
But and also it helps them to learn a little flexibility.
Exactly. Working with the community.
Right.
Which is a big thing for them to do. It's a service learning activity. We have a service learning component where they have to do a written part to pass this course that is the service learning component. So it really meets a lot of different areas for the student. And, I always tell them there used to be an old Peace Corps advertisement. It's the hardest job you'll ever love.
Yes.
And it really is that way with Dr. Seuss. It's a lot of work, but you love doing it.
Yes.
Know?
And now, how many days do you have to set up? I mean, you said you're in there at 7:30 that morning, but you can't do this just from 7:30 to 10 o'clock. How many weeks have you been working on this?
Well, as soon as the students come to class, so we only have about 6 weeks to pull this together, which truly is amazing. I always say Dr. Seuss is magical.
Yes.
It always just works. It just always turns out and works out. Now, tomorrow, we'll be stuffing all the goodie bags.
I wondered about
And
that.
that'll take us about 4 hours to stuff all those bags.
And then you have those eggs. I'm assuming
Yeah.
they're plastic
Yeah.
eggs, and so something has to be put in them.
Yeah, we'll have to stuff those. We'll have to carry everything over from our building in Humanities over to the library. So that's a major feat too, carrying all that stuff over and then carrying everything back, what we have left over. So it's a major thing. But the good thing too is it takes about 50 additional volunteers at least. And I have volunteers coming from Tennessee Wesleyan, the high schools, and then of course our own Cleveland State students. And the good thing is, if they're a Tennessee Promise student, they're required to do 8 hours of service each semester.
Right.
They can get all 8 in by doing our event.
Yes, they can.
So they can get all their service hours. So we get a lot of volunteers of Tennessee Promise students because they can then get all their 8 hours. They come in at 7:30 and they stay with us through cleanup.
And I think that's great. Suzanne, thank you so much for being on with me today. This is Saturday, March the 1st. March the 2nd, Saturday, March 2nd, from
10 to 1.
10 to 1.
In Cleveland State's library.
Right.
And anybody and any age is certainly invited to attend. One thing I didn't mention that's really important: all children must be accompanied by a parent.
Yes.
All children.
Yes.
They can't drop them off.
No.
Somebody has to be with, even as
Right.
grandmother or somebody that's responsible,
Right.
not another child.
Right.
It has to be somebody that's an adult with
And
them.
that's for everybody's safety. So.
Yeah, so I needed to say that.
Yes,
for
and
sure.
I'm glad you did. Suzanne, thank you so much for being on with me. I know you're going to have a great event, and I'm not going to go stand in line for it like I thought I was going to do 2 years ago. But anyway.
Well, I hope you will come sometime.
I would love to. One of these days you can get me to volunteer, and
Yeah.
I'll sneak in the back door so I don't have to stand in line.
Right.
But anyway.
I tell you what, if you call me, I'll let you in ahead of everybody.
That sounds good. I'm reading at Hopewell, Dr. Seuss Friday morning, so I'll get my little shot of Dr. Seuss Friday morning.
Well, my students, the characters, on their spring break are going to go to Taylor, because Taylor's having their Dr. Seuss week then, and my students are going to go for reading night. So I thought that was really nice that my students would give their
Yes.
spring break to go
Yes.
over there and read.
And that's a best partnership
Yeah.
in action. That's
Yeah.
great. Suzanne, thank you so much.
Okay.
Folks, don't go away. I'll be right back with some updates on what we have coming up in the community other than swim, lifeguarding, and Dr. Seuss. So watch our commercials, support our sponsors because they pay our bills, and I'll be right back.